This people of this small town were in a dire situation. Every day, they had to survive on sardines, and even the babies were not spared from this monotonous diet. Those with some culinary skills would try to mix things up, cooking, frying, boiling, drying, or even turning the fish into candy. But these efforts were only temporary fixes and did little to change their dismal lives. Their existence had become dull and joyless until one man came along who would change everything. From a young age, Flint Lockwood had a passion for inventing. When he was just in kindergarten, he solved the problem of shoelaces constantly coming undone. He created a homemade spray, which, with a quick spritz on his feet, produced a pair of lace-free shoes. But the glue was too strong, and no matter how hard he tried, he couldn't take them off. His classmates mocked him, calling him a freak. At home, Flint continued to struggle with the humiliating shoes, trying everything from prying them off with a screwdriver to cutting them with scissors and even smashing them with heavy objects, but to no avail. His confidence in his inventions took a hit. At that moment, his mom came in to comfort him and handed him a professional lab coat. Flint's eyes lit up, and he eagerly put it on. His mom encouraged him, telling him the world needed his creativity and that one day he would succeed. Her words reignited his hope, and Flint dove back into his experiments with renewed vigor. Before long, he invented a walking TV, but the moment he turned it on, it gained consciousness and bolted out the door. At 13, he created a hair growth serum that could instantly sprout a thick head of hair on a bald scalp, but he used a bit too much. By the time he was 17, he invented a thought translator for monkeys, which led to chaos as the bewildered monkeys ran wild. He even ventured into bio-experiments, creating a new creature, the ratbird, which terrified the town and caused everyone to shun him. The townsfolk's eyes were filled with disapproval whenever they looked at him. Then, a food crisis struck the town, and Flint had a wild idea to invent a machine that could produce food. The concept was to turn water into food. Without wasting any time, he sketched out the machine's blueprints and began a series of nano-experiments. After much effort, the food-making machine was finally completed. For the final step, he connected the power source and began testing. He poured a cup of water into the machine, flipped various switches, and adjusted the food's flavor. Once everything was set, Flint typed in the command for the type of food he wanted. Then, with a sense of anticipation, he extended his hand, and that's when the miracle happened. Out of the machine came a perfectly formed cheeseburger. Victory seemed within reach, but then the machine suddenly stopped working, causing a power outage that plunged his entire house into darkness. Flint quickly realized that the failure was due to insufficient voltage. So, he grabbed the machine and secretly brought it to a high-voltage power line. As soon as he connected the machine to the power source, it shot up into the sky like a rocket, disappearing into the atmosphere. This outcome left Flint feeling utterly defeated. But just then, something suddenly fell into a metal bucket nearby. When he approached, he discovered it was a slice of cheese. As he looked up at the sky, Flint was left completely stunned by what he saw.
Like and subscribe.